Welcome to the station crew. Enjoy your stay.
It is finally time to clean up the station. So let's turn this robot on and see how it deals with the trash around it. And it should also destroy this remains with the acid. And I love this Cleanbot very much. So I even created a new sprite for it. So please expect it to look a bit different a few days after this episode. So you can see that how it dealt with all the dust that we had here and even cleaning beneath the airlock there. So let's take it with us and finally get rid of the mess that we have in that room. It has been bothering me for a while, so I finally have the excuse to turn this robot on and let him clean up all this blood and xenogibs that we had. And I will also close the shutters for now to let him prioritize the mess in this room. Right, we got a new comment. There was a Z mastermind saying that we should explore space by locating distance signals with GPS and show space ruiner too. We will definitely do this. And in fact, I want to dedicate today's episode to robotics because first I want to create more Cleanbots, a couple of other bots, and also make a first mech that we will use to explore the space. That will be Ripley, the best utility mech in the game. Robotics is not just about mechs and simple bots. The robotics are also about the augmentation of different implants or just the robotic limbs to people. But we are alone right now here, so we will focus on bots for now that are simple things that do minor jobs for us and also create our first mech. So we'll be making Ripley. We don't need any technologies for Ripley. We just go to exosuit boards and I can already see that there are a couple of circuits here, Ripley central control module and peripherals control module. I will make both of those. So other than that, we just need some iron. Let me take 10 iron with me and take the modules and go to this machine. That is an exosuit fabricator. Here I can go to the Ripley and it lists all the chassis parts. I will just queue them all and build the queue. It will take 50 iron for us. We're getting low on iron, so we need to be careful when we create stuff. And we will start building the mech. Building mechs is very simple. You have your peripherals, your central control module, and this mech fabricator will be outputting different mech parts. You will need to find the chassis, that is the core part, and then attach the legs, arms, head and chest piece to this chassis to continue working on the mech. So it has done fabricating everything. Now we just need our tools. So first, bolt it down. You can, by the way, analyze the mech and it will tell what needs to be done. Then you screwdriver it. Then you need some wires. Then this wires needs cutting. And then we can start putting our modules. So first goes in the central control module. You screw it down. Then peripherals. And then we will need some stock parts. So first we need scanning module, and the tiers do not matter for scanning modules, so I will just take this basic one on the table. If you have a scanning module, it will tell you what kind of damage mech has. It will just show you the status of the mech. You will be able to see its health, etc. But the tier doesn't change anything. So once you have the scanning module installed, you screw it, and then you can install a capacitor. A capacitor is responsible for the efficiency of power consumption, so the higher tier you have, the better. Then you need a micro servo, and it is related to the movement and the energy used for movement. We have this femto tier 4 servo, so the Mech will be very efficient in terms of power consumption. And other than that, we need a battery for it. I have this hypercapacity power cell that is charged, and I will put it in. And now we only need to add a few materials. So first 5 sheets of iron, and then weld them down. Oh, so first wrench them and then weld them. And now we just need 10 rods, so making them from this remaining iron sheets, applying them to Mech, and weld them to. And we got our first Mech. So this is the Ripley.
All systems nominal.
I'm quite proud of this interface because previously the interface was quite clunky, and I made it condensed, also adding a few parts. So please note that this is on the TG Station build. Other code bases may not have this kind of UI, but the functionality should be more or less the same. So here you can see the interface of the Mech. It shows its name, it shows the picture, and it has an integrity. It means how much damage the Mech can take until it breaks down. Then there is a power. It shows our power cell, and I have put the hypercapacity power cell that has 30 megajoules of capacity. So you can see it here that right now it is full. We can turn on the Mech lights, and it's quite a huge cone of lights that's very useful, but it will start draining some power, although very slightly because I have a good capacitor. Then you can see a cabin air section. Right now it says exposed because the Ripley is the only Mech with an exposed cabin. We have only the mesh separating the Mech, separating the pilot from the environment, but all other Mechs and even Ripley, when upgraded, can have an enclosed cabin. And in this case, you may open and close the cabin to expose the air to make sure that you can perform a spacewalk or survive in a high temperature environment. So we will have other Mechs, or we will upgrade the Ripley later, where we will show how it works exactly. Then there is a DNA lock. You can set it and it will only let you enter the Mech, no one else. You can see the enzyme, that is a DNA of the person who set the DNA lock, or you can reset it to just let anyone enter the Mech. And there is an ID lock, which is disabled by default, but you can change the access, and let's say that you want only the medical personnel have the access. Then you click all these checkboxes, and only those who have this access will be able to enter the Mech. And you can also switch to require all or require any, in case if you want some more intricate configuration of the access, but we will not enable it for now. And there is the status panel that shows what kind of damage the Mech has. Right now it's fully functional, but when you receive some integrity damage, it may start malfunctioning in some way, either breaking the cabin ceiling, which we don't care about because we don't have any sealed cabin, or there may be internal fires, or there may be issues with the movement, etc. And on the right, you can see that there's an equipment tab that has safety protocols enabled. Essentially what it means is whether the Mech uses the modules in the left and right arm or not. You can just have your mouse when you have the protocols enabled, but when they are disabled, with the left click you will use the left arm module, and with the right click you will use the right module. We didn't install anything yet. You can see that the equipment lists all available modules for Ripley. It has one module for each of the arms, 4 utility modules, one of which is occupied by this built-in module that you cannot extract. That is a cargo compartment module available only to Ripley because it's a cargo Mech. It can hold a lot of items like chests, like closets, different kind of items. So it is very useful if you want to use it just to transfer some items from one place to another, like canisters, crates in a bulk. but it doesn't work without the hydraulic clamp, so we will need to make some modules. Let's make this hydraulic clamp first. So I will leave the mech, go to Ripley and scroll it a bit down, and then we start see supported equipment. So I'm interested in the hydraulic clamp, and also for the second arm I probably want to have a mining drill, but this is the basic one, so let me invest in a better version of the mining drill because it's a very versatile thing. So I will search for diamond drill. I can see it here. For that I need advanced mining technology. Let's research the required tech, and it will unlock the diamond drill that we can build in this mech fabricator. We have quite a low amount of diamonds, or only 391, and this one costs 325, but we can upgrade the laser to make this machine work a bit more efficiently. Let me actually do this. So go into the lasers. First we see the tier 3 laser here, so let's research it, and it unlocks this ultra micro laser of tier 4. So going to the stock parts, tier 4 laser, here it is. It will also take some diamonds, but we will need them. Let's make 5 of those. And let's upgrade the exosuit fabricator. Now, after upgrading the fabricator with the tier 4 laser, it costs only 178 diamond, which is good. So let's build the diamond mining drill. Okay, so we got 2 modules. The hydraulic clamp will go into the right mouse click. I'm clicking with the right mouse button to put it to the right arm, and the diamond drill will go to the left slot. So now when I enter the mech,
All systems nominal.
I can see that they are now available in the equipment. I can detach them. They have their descriptions. It says it's safety off. It means that right now I can use this equipment, and it costs some power. So one use costs 10 watts, and our battery allows us to use it quite a lot, and it has a cooldown. And a hydraulic clamp also has the power usage and a cooldown. So hydraulic clamp lets you take some crates. So if I want, I can right click this crate, and it will end up in the cargo compartment, and I can just drop it anywhere I want. So, but remember, we cannot open this science crate because I do not have any science access. And what this diamond drill allows us to do is to open the chests just like we do it with emitters that shoot lasers. The diamond drill is very fast at it. You can see that the progress bar goes quite quickly, and it has broken open the chest, and now I can see that there's a lot of cores, a tank transfer valve, a strange object that we will use in the episode related to the bomb making. But for now, let me just leave this chest there. So other than breaking chests, this diamond drill will also let me just demolish anything I want, like even these reinforced walls or regular walls can be broken. And I don't really like the abundance of the airlocks on Delta, so let me break all the airlocks down, and it will reclaim the materials from them. Alright, so I have broken down all the airlocks that I don't really want to have in this corridor, so good. But if you don't have any drill with you, you can also use the hydraulic clamp. So this hydraulic clamp is also a good utility for opening the doors. Let's say that when I leave the mech and remove my wallet here, I cannot access this high-tech security airlock. But in the mech, I can just use the hydraulic clamp that is in my right hand slot, right click with it, and it will force open any airlock, like so, even without you having the access. And the diamond drill will also be quite useful because we have this resin wall here and we will need to demolish them. So the drill is perfect for that because you can drill multiple walls at once. So let me show you how we can do it. You click on every single one of them with a cooldown, and then you can even move away from them. And with this mech, we cleared up all the resin walls that we had in the nest of xenomorphs. So this robot did a great job at cleaning up the space, but now you can see that it stays idle because it cannot find any dirt around it. And we have some controls here to adjust the clean robots. So let's take a look at them. First, there's a power that just turns it on and off, obviously. The airplane mode, as it says, disables the visibility of the robot on the remote console that is used on station. We don't have any here. The automatic patrolling will make it walk between the navigation beacons, and we have some of those. I have seen them while I was building the disposal system. So at least the Delta station and Charlie has those beacons already working. So let me turn it on. And it will start going to the first navigation beacon that it found. Other than that, this robot has some controls for controlling what kind of work will it do. So it will clean blood splats right now, and you can also let it spray acid on trash items, clean the graffiti that people leave with the spraying can, and pest control will make it also kill cockroaches and mouse. So let's take a look at what is the navigation beacon that this robot is going between. You can unlock the navigation beacon with the roboticist access, and it has the ID of the beacon. You can rename it if you wish. You can enable it as a patrol beacon if you want the robots to use it as a patrol beacon. You can set the next patrol point, so the robots that reach this beacon will know what beacon they should target next, and Delta 2 is the next beacon down the hallway. So robots, when they reach this one, they will take the ID of this next patrol point, find the beacon with this name, and navigate towards it. There is an option to enable it as a delivery beacon. It is used by the cargo robots, mule bots, to deliver stuff. We don't have any here right now, so we will not bother with it. And delivery direction will mean that towards which direction this cargo bots will drop the crates that they are carrying. So we will not bother with it also. Maintenance is sometimes available, sometimes not. So the map spawn navigation beacons have it. So in case if someone breaks it or someone changes the location, the roboticist can come and reset the codes to the default ones. Let's say that I put something random here, and they can reset it with the Delta 1 and lock the interface if they don't want any random people to change the navigation beacon and break the navigation of the robots. So let's make some items that we need for the navigation beacons and to create the simple robots. Navigation beacons are available under the basic robotics research, so they're very early in the tech tree. And for the rest, we just need some proximity sensors. Let's make like 5 of those. We need also a couple of buckets. I have one janitor bucket that I got in this closet, and we have another bucket in the hydroponics, so that will be enough. And I also want to build a medical bot, so let me find the medkit that I have seen in one of the emergency closets. So this medkit contained some not really useful for us things, but there is a wound analyzer that tells what wounds the users have. We don't really have any wounds, but we cannot build any health analyzers right now because it's locked by the human dissection research, and we have only one of them. I want to have it with us, to be able to analyze my health. So I can use this wound analyzer instead. I will use this empty medkit, and I will also need 3 robot arms. So go here to the cyborg, and let's make a cyborg right arm. And we need 3 of those because I will be making 3 simple robots. So when you have a medkit, a wound analyzer, a robotic arm, and a proximity sensor, you can open the crafting menu and you can see that it suggests you to make a medical bot. So clicking the make button, and it gives us a robot that will heal us in case if we get some damage. We can unlock its controls if we use the Robotics ID again. And it has some different things compared to the Cleanbot. There is a heal threshold. So when we have at least 10% of damage, it will heal us. So you want it as low as possible if you want it to tending you always. But if you wanted to tend the wounds only when you're almost dead, you can bump it up to 75%. But let's leave it down at 5%. It has a speaker which will make it speak when it comes to you and just randomly talk. So I will disable it for now. Critical alerts, not useful also because it's not a med-based work for us. And I want it to be stationary so it will not move. And let's place it somewhere. Like here will be a med bay probably. So I will leave him here, and it will be needed in case if I get damaged and I don't want to waste chemicals. I will come to it and it will tend my brute wounds. Note that to tend other types of wounds you will need other types of medical kits. Because I had only the basic medical kit, this is the brute version of the medical bot, but you can also treat toxins damage, you can also treat burn damage if you have a corresponding medical kit. Let's actually rename it, so giving it some random name. Okay, and this guy will heal us up in case if we need. I will get the 2 other robotic arms and head to Charlie. While we're at it, I will also grab this Supermetric crate. So here on Charlie, we also have this navigational beacon, and they are in this circle around the hydroponics and the kitchen. So we don't need to do anything here. We just can build the robot straight away. Let me find the bucket that I have seen here. So here's our bucket. Doing the same thing. Place the robotic arm and a proximity sensor. And note that you don't really need the crafting menu to build the robots. You can also just take the proximity sensor, click with it on the bucket. It will give you the incomplete Cleanbot assembly, and you can just attach the arm to it, and it will be the same as if you craft it with a crafting menu. Unlock it with the Robotics ID, and let's also give it some name. Well, because it's botany, let's call him like so. And I will enable the patrol mode so that it will navigate through the Charlie. Alright, so dropping our crate. We will use it to set up the supermeter in this room. I will place the navigation beacon here. So I will need a machine frame first. Then screw it down. Add some wires. And add the navigation beacon circuit board. Then screw it down. Here we get a navigation beacon. You need a Robotics ID to unlock it. We have it. So let's give it some name. I will give it similar to the other beacons, so it will be beta 0 because it will be the first one. Submit. Enable it as a patrol beacon, and the next one will be beta 1. We will place the beta 1 in a moment. That's all that we need, and I will just place the tile on top of this beacon. I want this robot to go kinda through this corridor and then to the right. So let me first place this beacon here. Again, in a similar fashion, calling this beta 1, and it will navigate to beta 2. Enable the patrol beacon, and close it. And the last one will be somewhere here, because there's another beacon. I don't want the robots to overlap in their cleaning areas, so let me put it somewhere here. And this will be our last beacon, so it will be beta 2 with enabled patrolling, and it will navigate to the first one, that is beta 0. So we made a triangle kind of road. The bottom beacon will navigate to the corner one, then to this one, and this one will navigate back to the first one. So now we need to make our actual Cleanbot. So doing it in the same way, we have our bucket, we have our hands, we have our proximity sensor, adding proximity sensor to the bucket, adding the arm to the assembly, unlocking it with our ID card, and we can also name it, let me give it also some random name, and enable the patrol for it and turn it on. So this one should navigate through the holes, cleaning also the mining equipment. It will also see throughout the window if there will be any mess here in the recycler, because I didn't mention it in the previous episode, but the recycler may be used as a butchering tool. So if we just throw corpses into the disposals, the corpses will be delivered here, and I may run corpses through the recycler and it will automatically separate the meat from the leather, and this way we'll be able to just mass butcher things when we need it. Right, and finally this beta station will become a cleaner place. And while we're here, I also want to grab a few other things. So here we have this med bay with a lot of medical equipment. I want to move this entire med bay to the Delta station because we have kind of a science place there. So I will take this chest, put everything inside this chest, then jump into the Ripley and pick this crate. Okay, now I want to build a charging station because our Ripley is getting discharged. And to recharge the mech, you can either replace the battery as I did with the mod suit, but you can also just make a station where it can recharge. So let me build it over here. Here you can see another piece of infrastructure that is a plumbing network, and this fluid duct was delivering water to this sink that I just broke here. So I will need to redirect it into this new chemistry area that I will turn into a med bay, and we will have sink somewhere here instead. Alright, so I moved the operating table to this new med bay that we will fill up with the equipment later. And in this place I want to build the mech charger. So we need a machine frame for that, and a computer board will control the machine. Again, attaching it. Then adding some cables. And then we need to build the actual board. So here we can search for mech, and we need these two things. So this is a machine board, this is a console board. To complete console, you just screw it in place, add some wires, add the glass to the screen. Then we need some cables here. And a few capacitors. So let me actually make basic ones. Right, now we have our machine frame complete. It's rotated in the wrong direction, so I can rotate it with a wrench into this one. And then when I complete this control console, you can see that it shows the integrity and power of the mech that is attached to this fork. But right now it doesn't see any mech, so I need to place the mech onto this port.
All systems nominal.
Now when I place the mech, you can see that it sees its integrity and it starts charging the mech slowly. And since we have this one piece of duct left over, let's also make a bot that will basically work as a shower for us. So going to the crafting menu, I can search for the Hygienebot, and there's an assembly. I make it. And with a welding tool enabled, I can make the Hygienebot.
Hygienist client found. Please stand still so I can clean you. Enjoy your clean and tidy day.
So you can see that it makes us take a shower, but it also makes the floor slippery because it sprays water. So in case if you don't want it to do this, you can just turn it off. I'll put it into the medbay because some sanitization will be quite useful when we deal with patients. Right, so that is it for this episode, and please leave more comments for the boards and I will address them in the next ones.